What's up, guys? I'm Haley. For those of you who don't know me, I wanted to do this super quick video tutorial about how I use Google Spreadsheets to track my business and stay organized with everything. I got a whole bunch of questions about this the other day from people who were wanting a little bit of advice on how to use spreadsheets. So I figured that doing this visually would be the easiest way to show you how I use it and to teach you some of the functions that I use most frequently and that I love in Google Spreadsheets that I figured it out. I love Google Sheets specifically over Excel because you can access it from anywhere. It is stored on the server on the internet attached to your Google account. It is not stored on your actual device, so it doesn't take up memory, and you can access it from anywhere, from your laptop, from your phone, your tablet, whatever. Anywhere that you can log into your Google account. So it's also very intuitive, very user-friendly. So I just prefer it and I love it. So let me share my screen real quick and share a few tips about how I use Google. Here we go. So this is the spreadsheets home. You get here by going to google.com/sheets, or you can go in the upper right corner. I'm not sure if you can see it or if my little window is blocking it, but in the upper right corner, there's this little icon for Google Apps. You click on that and scroll down and you can click on the sheets and that'll take you right here as well. So here we are. This will store all of your Google Sheets forever until you delete them. You click on a blank document to create a new one. Let that load. And this is what your blank spreadsheet will look like when you open it. So first we want to create a title. So you go into the upper left-hand corner, just click on the thing that says Untitled Spreadsheet and type whatever you want. I'm going to type my name. There we go. That's the title of our new spreadsheet. So then you click on any cell, whatever cell you want to type in. You type, whatever you want. Click enter, and now the cell is populated. A few helpful features. If you highlight a cell, you want it to go somewhere else because you either made a mistake or you didn't leave room for something. You grab it. You can drag it anywhere you want. But make sure that your mouse is hovering over that little blue line and you see the little like Mickey Mouse hand that shows up. And that's how you grab and drag. You can also highlight multiple cells and do the same thing that way. So you can also expand a column to make it wider. Say maybe you have to type in a really long email, you need a little more space. You can expand it that way. Up here, you grab and you drag at that little, at the divider line. You can do the same thing with a row to make it wider if maybe you want to put multiple lines in a single row. So there's that. So now let's go back to home by clicking the little spreadsheet icon up here. And I want to show you some sample spreadsheets that I created. These are totally fictional. But first, let's look at the sample hit list as an example of how you might be able to use this to track your leads and business contacts. So in this first column, we have the name, obviously. In the second column, we have the buyer title. Who is this? Why are they important to you? John Doe is the showrunner for the project and company title, and he works on the new groundbreaking show, Karen in London. So let's just say that he's a showrunner, he works on the show. This column is sort of, why are they interesting? Why do I want to be in contact with this person? You can see down here, Mickey Mouse, he is the CEO of Disney, but he doesn't have any other information because I'm still researching my lead on him. I've not reached out to him yet or anything. So he's just on my list to remind me that he's a person I want to try and contact. So then we have the project and company. That's either the company they work for or the project that you want to be in that they are a part of. Email, pretty self-explanatory. Mailing address or phone number. You can see like for Steven Spielberg, I do not have his email, but I have an address. Again, totally fictional, totally made up. But I just am taking you guys through this for the example. Then the next category is the relationship status you have to this person. Are they a complete stranger and you're trying to form a relationship? Or have they called you in for an audition? Or are they a total fan of you? They love you and call you in all the time. And I have this drop-down menu to show all of those different categories, and I'll teach you guys how to do that in just a second. The next column was the date of my last contact with them. How long has it been since we interacted? And then the last one is the form of contact that I had. I either had a LinkedIn message, I sent them a postcard, maybe had an Instagram message conversation. And I can keep track of how recently we were in touch. So really quick, I want to teach you how to do this drop-down menu feature. Super cool. You select the cell that you would like to create the drop-down in. Then you go up to data, click data, data validation. And then in here, we want to do a list of items. And then we enter the items that we want. Let's just say our items are A, B, C, and we enter those in with commas, no spaces. And we say save. So now we have this drop-down cell, and we can expand that to a larger column by clicking this little corner, dragging it down. Now all of these are drop-down cells. And I can click this, and now my options are A, B, and C, and I can do a different choice for each cell. To delete that, you want to select the cells that you're trying to delete or select. Actually, quick tip, if you just click that cell, hold down the shift button, and then click the bottom cell that you want to select, it'll select the whole thing. Then we go back to data. We go to data validation once again, same place, and then we just click remove validation. And that'll get rid of your options. And then we can just delete these selections that we had in there before. So that's one way that you can use a spreadsheet to help track your business. If you have a CRM separately that you use, maybe you would simplify this because your CRM has all their contact info and maybe a relationship lead with them. But perhaps you just want to be able to keep track of the people that you want to be reaching out to, what their affiliation is, and maybe the last time you contacted them. But you could customize the spreadsheet however you needed to, or just use this as your CRM. So now we want to go back to the home by clicking the Sheets Home button once again. There's one other spreadsheet I want to show you, and that is my income tracker. This is my holy grail of all spreadsheets. Again, this one I've gone in, I've changed it. Everything is totally fictional. All of these numbers are completely fake and made up. Some of these projects and clients are some of my real clients, and some of them are not, but I'm not going to tell you which is what. So this first column is the date, and I always pick the date specifically that a deposit hits my bank account. Why? Because it makes it easier to go back into my account or my statements and find it later if I need to find that transaction. Second column is the project title. Now, a lot of these are like commercial voiceover clients because that's a lot of what I do, but then you can see down here in March, I had a day on set in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Not really, but you get the picture. Wouldn't it be nice? So then this next column over, this is the payroll or the ad agency that basically signs the check. A lot of production companies will go through a payroll company to pay entertainment employees. And so I created this basically several years ago when I got screwed at tax time, because I received a 1099, big old 1099, and it accounted for many different jobs because many different agencies and production companies had gone through the same payroll company, and they had sent me one 1099 for all of the jobs that paid me through that company. And so this way I can keep track in an itemized way of exactly which jobs are accounted for when I get that 1099 at the end of the year. Then we have our next column, which is the tax form. Am I being paid on a 1099 or on a W-2? I used the drop-down function for this once again. Very handy so that you know whether taxes have already been taken out or if you are responsible for taking your own taxes out. Next form, this is the gross payment, the whole entire payment that was accounted for. This is, as far as the government is concerned, what you're making. Next column is the tax deducted. Once again, you can see in these W-2 categories, taxes were taken out in very specific amounts. My personal practice, which is just a little life hack, which you are more than welcome to steal, I keep a separate bank account called my tax savings. And anytime I get paid on a 1099, I take out 20% of that paycheck and just move it to that savings account so that when it comes time for me to either pay my quarterly taxes or annual taxes, then I have that money already set aside and I never get any surprises come tax time. Then the next column over, these are the agent commissions that were deducted from my payment. And so I can keep track of all of that. Another handy life hack at the end of the year, you can just add up all of these monthly totals for your agent commissions, and you have your annual agent commissions for the year and write that off as a business expense. Yes. So love that. There's a few functions I want to be able to show you in here. I have left the March gross blank, or the March totals blank, so that I can show you how to use the math functions. I don't know about you, I'm not good at math, and I want my spreadsheet to do it all for me. So this is the end of March, and I need to add it all up. So I go up here to this little Greek-looking E thing. That's the functions button. We click that, then we go to sum, and that creates a little math equation in our cell. So if we want to add up a range of cells, everything in between the top of March and the bottom of March, we type in the top cell number of March, which is E14. That was the first payment we received. Then I use a colon, which adds up a range of numbers through the bottom number, which is E17. Enter. Now we have our total gross for March. We can do the same thing over here for taxes. We go functions, we go sum, and the range we want to add up for March taxes is F14, colon, to add up all of the numbers up through F17. That's our total taxes for the month of March. Then we do the same thing once again, function, sum, and for commissions, we add up G14 through G17. Now we have all of our totals for March, and we want to now calculate March net. This is the liquid cash we have available to spend after all of these things have been taken out. So for that equation, we go sum, same thing, and then we're just going to use a slightly different character. So we do E18, that's our March gross. But then we do minus, instead of the colon, because we're not adding up, we want to subtract, minus F18 and minus, once again, G18. So that is our gross income minus our taxes minus agent commission. And this is the net total that we have to spend that we have earned in liquid cash for that month. Very handy. So then there's one other function I want to show you. If you want to calculate a list of, or a range of numbers that are not sequential, so it's like we're not just adding up this whole column, we want to add up separate numbers throughout the spreadsheet. Same thing, function, sum, and now we want the various totals from each month. So the first total is January gross, and that is in cell E5. Then we use a comma as opposed to the colon because we're separating these cells. The next one we want to include is the February gross. That is E12, and then comma once again. And the final gross that we want is March, and that is in E18. Enter. So now we have so far our annual gross for the year, which adds up the totals of each month. Then as you go along, you would just double click, it takes you back to the equation, you add another comma, you add the next month whenever you have the totals for that month at the end of the year. So I hope that was super helpful for you guys. Please feel free to hit me with any questions. Feel free to send me a direct message or something. All of the above is totally fine. And I hope this was helpful. I hope that you're able to get a little more organized and track your business. Good luck. I will stop screen sharing and have an awesome day.